The Middle East holds a unique position in the global economy. Its strategic location and rich cultural heritage make it a focal point of global interest. It possesses vast reserves of oil and natural gas, which are among the most sought-after resources in the world. These resources are crucial for powering industries worldwide, from manufacturing to transportation and even the technology sector. This makes the region a vital energy supplier, ensuring that economies around the globe can function smoothly. However, this reliance on oil also brings challenges. The fluctuating prices of oil can lead to economic instability. Political instability and conflicts are frequent occurrences in the Middle East, often exacerbated by external influences and internal divisions. These events can significantly disrupt oil production, leading to shortages and price spikes that affect every corner of the globe. This volatility has far-reaching consequences for the global economy, influencing everything from stock markets to consumer prices. The Middle East's economic landscape is diverse, with some nations heavily reliant on oil, while others have more varied economic bases. Some countries are heavily dependent on oil exports, making them vulnerable to market fluctuations. Others have more diversified economies, investing in sectors like finance, technology, and tourism to reduce their dependence on oil. The Gulf states, for instance, rely heavily on oil revenue, which has allowed them to build modern cities and infrastructure. Countries like Turkey and Israel have developed other sectors, focusing on technology, agriculture, and services to bolster their economies. These include technology and tourism, which attract investment and create jobs, contributing to economic stability. Despite efforts towards diversification, oil remains a key economic driver in the region, underpinning many aspects of daily life and governance. The interconnectedness of the global economy means that disruptions in oil supply from the Middle East are felt worldwide, affecting trade routes and economic policies. Price shocks can trigger inflation, making goods and services more expensive for consumers everywhere. They also create uncertainty in financial markets, leading to cautious investment and economic slowdowns. The stability of the Middle East is therefore of paramount importance to the global economic order. International efforts to maintain peace and stability in the region are ongoing, as the world recognizes the critical role the Middle East plays in global prosperity. The Middle East is unfortunately synonymous with conflict. From long-standing tensions to recent uprisings, the region faces numerous challenges. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict remains a major source of instability. The Syrian civil war has created a humanitarian crisis and destabilized the region. In Yemen, a devastating conflict continues to rage. Iraq struggles with its own internal divisions and the rise of extremist groups. These conflicts have devastating consequences for the people of the Middle East. Millions have been displaced from their homes. Basic necessities like food and water are often scarce. The economic infrastructure of these war-torn countries lies in ruins. The human cost of these conflicts is immeasurable. The economic burden is staggering. These conflicts also spill over into neighboring countries. They exacerbate regional tensions. They create breeding grounds for extremism. The flow of refugees puts a strain on resources in host countries. The complex geopolitical landscape of the Middle East makes finding lasting solutions extremely difficult. Yet, it is essential for regional and global stability. The interconnected nature of the global economy means that conflicts in the Middle East have far-reaching consequences. These conflicts can disrupt the delicate balance of international trade and economic stability, affecting countries far beyond the immediate region. One of the most immediate impacts is on global supply chains. The flow of goods and services is heavily dependent on the stability of key transit routes, and any disruption can have a cascading effect on the global market. The Middle East serves as a crucial transit route for goods traveling between Asia, Europe, and Africa. The Suez Canal, for instance, is one of the world's most important waterways, facilitating the passage of thousands of ships each year. Disruptions to shipping lanes in the Persian Gulf or closures of important trade routes can delay the delivery of goods. These delays can lead to shortages of essential items, from electronics to food supplies, impacting everyday life for millions. This leads to increased costs for businesses and consumers worldwide. Companies may face higher shipping costs and delays, which can result in higher prices for consumers and reduced availability of products. Furthermore, the uncertainty and instability caused by conflict deter foreign investment in the region. Investors are wary of putting their money into areas where the risk of conflict could jeopardize their returns. Businesses are hesitant to invest in areas where conflict might erupt. This hesitation can lead to a lack of development and modernization in the region, stalling economic progress. This deprives the Middle East of much-needed capital. Without investment, infrastructure projects and business ventures that could drive economic growth are left unrealized. It hinders economic growth and development. The lack of investment means fewer job opportunities and slower economic progress, which can exacerbate social and economic inequalities. The lack of investment further exacerbates existing economic challenges. Conflict zones often see a mass exodus of people, leading to refugee crises that strain resources and infrastructure in neighboring regions. It deepens the cycle of poverty and instability. Communities already struggling with poverty find it even harder to recover and rebuild in the face of ongoing conflict and economic hardship. The international community plays a crucial role in mitigating these negative impacts. Through coordinated efforts, countries and organizations can provide the necessary support to stabilize the region. Humanitarian aid is essential to alleviate the suffering of those caught in conflict zones. Providing food, medical care, and shelter can help mitigate the immediate effects of conflict on vulnerable populations. Diplomatic efforts are needed to find political solutions and bring an end to violence. Peace talks and negotiations are crucial in addressing the root causes of conflict and fostering long-term stability. Promoting stability and security in the Middle East is not just a moral imperative. It is also a strategic necessity for ensuring global economic stability and security. It is also essential for the health of the global economy. A stable Middle East can contribute to a more predictable and secure global market, benefiting countries and businesses worldwide. Section 4. Oil's price volatility, a global economic headache. The most immediate and significant impact of Middle Eastern conflicts on the global economy is through oil price volatility. As a major oil-producing region, any disruption to production in the Middle East sends shockwaves through global energy markets. When oil prices spike, businesses face higher operating costs. This cost is often passed on to consumers in the form of higher prices for goods and services. This inflationary pressure can have a ripple effect throughout the global economy. Central banks may raise interest rates to combat inflation, potentially slowing economic growth. Consumers may cut back on spending, further impacting businesses and economic activity. The uncertainty surrounding oil prices also creates volatility in financial markets, making investors wary and impacting investment decisions. The current global reliance on fossil fuels makes the world particularly vulnerable to price shocks stemming from Middle Eastern conflicts. This dependence highlights the need for energy diversification and a transition towards renewable energy sources. Section 5. Beyond oil. The Middle East's economic diversification challenge. While oil dominates the economic landscape of the Middle East, there is a growing recognition of the need to diversify. For decades, the region has relied heavily on oil exports to fuel its economies, creating immense wealth but also significant vulnerabilities. The fluctuating oil prices and the global shift towards renewable energy sources have made it clear that a more sustainable economic model is necessary. Many countries in the region are actively pursuing economic reforms aimed at reducing their dependence on oil revenue. These reforms are not just about finding alternative sources of income, but also about creating a more resilient and dynamic economic structure. Governments are implementing policies to attract foreign investment, improve the business environment, and support the growth of new industries. These efforts include investing in sectors such as tourism, technology, and renewable energy. Tourism has the potential to bring in significant revenue, especially given the region's rich cultural heritage and natural beauty. Technology and innovation are being promoted to create high-value jobs and drive economic growth. Renewable energy projects, such as solar and wind farms, are being developed to ensure a sustainable energy future. However, the path to diversification is fraught with challenges. Developing new industries requires substantial investment and time. Infrastructure needs to be built, regulations need to be updated, and a skilled workforce needs to be developed. Additionally, there are social and cultural barriers that can slow down the pace of change. Conflicts and instability create an unfavorable environment for investment and economic growth. Political tensions and security concerns can deter foreign investors and disrupt economic activities. Stability is a crucial factor for the success of diversification efforts. Bureaucracy and corruption can also hinder progress. Inefficient administrative processes and lack of transparency can create obstacles for businesses and investors. Reforms are needed to streamline procedures and ensure a fair and competitive business environment. Furthermore, the global transition towards renewable energy, while positive in the long run, poses a challenge for oil-dependent economies in the short term. The shift away from fossil fuels means that oil revenues will decline, making it even more urgent for these countries to find alternative sources of income. Despite these challenges, there are glimmers of hope. Some countries in the region are making significant progress in their diversification efforts. They are leveraging their strategic location, investing in infrastructure, and fostering innovation to build a more sustainable economic future. The United Arab Emirates, for example, has successfully positioned itself as a regional hub for tourism and finance. Dubai's transformation into a global city is a testament to the potential of diversification. The city attracts millions of tourists each year and serves as a major financial center in the region. Other countries are investing in education and technology to develop a skilled workforce. By focusing on education and training, they aim to equip their populations with the skills needed for the jobs of the future. This investment in human capital is essential for long-term economic growth and stability. The success of these diversification efforts is crucial not only for the economic well-being of the Middle East, but also for its stability and prosperity. A diversified economy can provide more opportunities for its people, reduce dependence on a single resource, and create a more resilient and dynamic economic landscape. The journey towards diversification is challenging, but with continued effort and commitment, the Middle East can build a more sustainable and prosperous